What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another one. Today's not gonna be super action-packed, but I really need your help. I kind of have an urgent-ish issue, and I've been racking my brain, researching, scouring the internet, trying to find a solution basically to my problem. And I got about 3 or 4 different ways I can go, and really I just want to ask you, the people that watch my videos, your opinions, if you have any thoughts, you know, if you think I'm headed down a correct path, or, you know, just kind of, I need to bounce these ideas off somebody, because you can only get so far on the internet not actually talking to somebody. So I really need your help today. Before that, first off, excuse me for being a little sweaty. I've been organizing the car's new home. I got a new garage and it's freaking badass. Let me show you around and let me show you why real quick. All right, just gonna show you the setup real quick. It's the same garage as last time, just different location. I'll show you why it's so badass in just a second. Got my wash stuff, wrap stuff, some random stuff. Still got some trash over here on the right side I need to get rid of. There's the gorgeous car with those aggressive SVEs, as you saw in the last video. If you hadn't seen that yet, check it out now. I'll put a link in the description. That lamp's not normally there. There's my vac. Here's my totally poor man's workbench. It's actually a Corsa muffler box. That's about all I got right now. Got all my cleaning stuff on here, my polisher, towels, all that. Yes, I play some golf. This is what I like to call the stock part graveyard. Got some headers down there, shifter, springs, all kinds of suspension stuff. Got the catback exhaust, of course. Got the stock air box right there. Got the headers in the back. And then of course over here, we got all the tires. Not too bad. Not too bad for what I got. Not a bad little spot. Now let me show you why this place is so bad. Now before, here was my walk to my garage. See how annoying that is, how far that is? If you forget something in your car, if you're working on your car, do something in the garage, you forget something in the house, it's such a long back and forth. It's such a beating. It was so far away. Now check this out. Here's my walk now. Hell yeah. That's so much better. That's so much better. I'm so happy about it. I've been trying to get this garage since I moved in like 6-8 months ago, and I finally got it. And it's badass because that's where I was, in the armpit of the building. And that's why there's like, well, my GoPro died because I'm a scrub. So patio's right there, and that's just why it was so hard to have a loud exhaust. And now, I'll show you. I'm essentially like the first one here. So I ain't that worried about being loud anymore. Plus I was tired of parking over there somewhere. Anyways, all right, meat of the video, let's go. Now with that out of the way, to the meat of the story. My issue is basically my car is too damn loud. It is way too loud. So you might know, you might not, I'm running a Corsa Extreme catback, which is not the issue. I installed long tube headers, catless long tube headers, 2M Fabrication brand. That's when my issue came into play. I knew it was gonna be loud. I know, what the heck did you think was gonna happen? I understand, just spare me. Like, I get it, I get it. I understand. Now I'm on to find a solution. So it is so unbearably loud. I mean, it's straight up like a NASCAR. It is, even on mild acceleration, even just cruising, I don't even like driving with the windows down, because at least when it's up, I don't realize how much racket I'm creating. It is unbearable. It's absurdly loud. Even if this car was a weekend car, it's not even just the fact that it's a daily, it's too loud, period. This could be my weekend car only, and it'd be too loud for that. It's just too much, in my opinion. So, on to solutions. My first one was really just to buy the cat. You can buy the cat to go on this. And then I kind of learned that cats don't make that big of a difference in sound reduction. That's more of a, for emissions and gases and stuff like that. So then I started discovering resonators. And you can buy universal resonators, anything from like an H-pipe resonator, where the stock resonator goes, to like the little bullet cannon style resonators. You know, NBRP makes one. I forgot the other one. There's a few just universal, you know, even 2M Fabrication, the people that I bought the headers from, they have a resonator bullet style that you can basically just put in right after the headers. Now, they're not that expensive. My thing is, I don't know how much those are gonna help because they're a straight through design. So basically if you do this, you can see through it. But it's got a bunch of stuff on the insides, I guess. It's supposed to like take the drone out, which I don't have a drone issue. It's sound. And I don't really care about the rasp either. I've kind of heard that these resonators are good for the rasp and for the drone, and that's not the issue that I might have. My issue is noise, volume. I need to quiet it down. So I don't want to spend the money and take the time to do that and it not work. If that would work, if it even quieted down by 10, 15, 20%, that would be a start. It'd be better than nothing. And I'd be willing to try it. I just don't want to spend the $100 to $200 to $300 it's going to cost to get a resonator put in, or buy it and then put it in myself, and it just not really do much. So option number 2, these are in no particular order, is just get a whole new muffler or a new catback system. Now I actually put on a Facebook group that I was looking for somebody that had maybe a Corsa Sport or a Borla S-Type, or you know, one of the Borla Corsas, like the lower, quieter exhaust, just to swap. If anybody wanted to upgrade or up sound to the Extreme, you know, just meet them at an exhaust shop, split the difference to swap the catbacks and be on my way that way. So that could go a couple ways, either find somebody that wants to trade or just buy a whole new catback system. You know, just purchase a Borla S-Type catback. I actually found that Corsa, you can buy an axle back. I didn't realize, it must be new or something. It's the Corsa Sport axle back with active exhaust. So it's basically the same exhaust I have, just in Sport, and it's just an axle back. So I don't have to, you know, I already have the X-pipe, everything's fine. 2 downsides to that. One, I couldn't sell the Extreme system as a whole. You know, I'd like to sell it, when I sell it, I want it to be the catback system. I'd be selling it basically just as an axle back, so it hurt the value of it basically. And the other thing, it's not that much cheaper just to buy the axle back. So the Corsa Sport, I'm just getting confused, Sport axle back active is still like $1,700 or $1,800. It is extremely expensive. And what I would do is sell whatever I have to pretty much pay for that. But if I'm only gonna be able to take the axle backs off, the Extremes off, sell those, I'm probably only gonna get $800, $1,000 maybe, if I'm lucky, you know, to pay for a $1,700, $1,800 system. Then, you know, eventually I could take that off and sell that as a whole. So it might not be that bad. I'm also looking at maybe MagnaFlow makes like a street, which I think that might be a good option because apparently it's pretty quiet. It's barely louder than stock. So like a MBR or a MagnaFlow street, just buy that because it's not that much. I think it's $1,500, somewhere around there, you know. So maybe if anybody has experience with a MagnaFlow competition and some long tube headers. Now the only other thing about the MagnaFlow is it's got a really deep tone, which I guess I'm fine with. I think the headers will make it super raspy and a little higher pitch. I don't know. I heard there's drone with MagnaFlow, at least the one that I'm looking at. I've seen a lot of videos, a lot of reviews, and say it sounds great, awesome. It definitely has drone though. That is a thing, it is an issue. And I'm coming from an exhaust system that has 0 drone, no drone. Corsa's got none, not an issue, don't even know what it's like. So there's the other kind of downside to that. My third realistic, I have 4, but 4 is not really, I'm trying not to go down this avenue. So the third one really is to put my stock exhaust back on. Now I don't want to do that because I don't want to go back stock. One, that's a more restrictive exhaust in terms of, I don't believe that's a 3-inch exhaust. I think it's 2.5 if I'm correct. And it's just a more restrictive exhaust. So I don't want to go, I did all this work to put the headers on, all this stuff to soup it up and make more power, just to put the stock more restrictive exhaust on. That doesn't make sense to me. I don't really know what headers with stock exhaust sounds like. I guess that's something I could look up, but I just don't really know. I don't know how loud it would be. I don't know if it'd be too loud. I don't know if it'd even sound good. A big thing is I hate the tips. I know that's kind of a small thing, but maybe not. To me, it's not. You know, the tips on a car look badass. From the rear, from the kind of rear 3/4, it's a really cool addition. You know, it can really make the rear of a car look great. And I don't want to go back to those stock tips. They're just boring. It's literally just a piece of metal pipe, like cut at an angle. I mean, there's nothing badass, there's nothing cool looking about it at all. So it's super restrictive. I don't like the tips. Those are the negatives. The positives are it's free. I don't have to buy anything. So really I could put it on, take my Corsa Extreme catback off, and in all reality probably sell the whole system for $1,200, $1,400, $1,500. I don't know. I haven't really thought about it or dove in and tried to come up with a fair, good price. I don't know what it is. This thing brand new is like $2,100, $2,200, and I understand you're not going to get that back, but it is, the top of the line Corsa Extreme. It's a sought after brand. It's a sought after exhaust. It's the full catback. It's the active, in great condition, less than 10,000 miles on the car. I don't see any reason why I couldn't get anywhere from $1,000 to $1,500. So really, I'd be putting a free exhaust system back on. It'd take care of my quiet issue. It'd quiet it down for sure. And basically, I'd be able to pocket anywhere from $1,000 to $1,500, either just a stash or to buy something else for the car. I could complete the aesthetic. There's a bunch of different things I could do with that money. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. It's not a bad option, but it's not a great one either. And option number 4, which is kind of ridiculous to me, and I don't want to go down this, but I could almost talk myself into it being the option I do want to go down, and that would be just to put my stock headers back on. Now, the Corsa Extreme, it was like a dream of mine to have the Corsa Extreme exhaust, the catback. I'd only heard them in videos. I love the sound. I love how it was like the higher pitch, European sounding V8. Like, I wanted it so bad, and I finally got it, and then I got headers and it screwed everything up. So I've kind of juggled the thought or the idea, because I still have my headers, of just putting my stock headers back on and just returning to the Corsa catback. Honestly, if I could snap my fingers and make any of these things happen, that would be it. It fixes all my problems. I would love to just go back to just that sweet Corsa sound, honestly. It's what I'd rather do. It's my most preferable option. Like I said, if I could just snap my fingers and return to that, I would. The downsides, either I'm not doing another header install, and Ethan, the guy that I can't do it without, I literally can't do without him, I wouldn't even ask him to do it again. It is ridiculously labor intensive. We've already spent 8 to 10 hours putting these on. I would just feel ridiculous asking him, or even I'm not gonna ask him, and even if he's like, dude, let's just do it, I don't even wanna do it. It is so exhausting. It is like the hardest thing I've ever done to a car. It sucked, and I vowed to never do it again. Or I pay somebody to put the stock ones back on, and I think I called one just random shop today that's kind of close to my work, and they quoted me $980. So, another downside to doing that is if I'm not gonna do it myself, I have to pay somebody to do it. And I have the 2 in fabrication headers, which brand new are like $500. So the most I can sell them for is probably $200 or $250, maybe $300 if I get the right buyer, $350. I mean, $350 is pushing it, because for $150, somebody could just get a brand new set, So this is actually gonna cost me money, whereas all the other options, resonators, not that expensive. Buying a new catback system or swapping somebody, really I think I'd about break even. Putting my stock exhaust back on, I'd actually make a bunch of money. Not make, but I'd pocket money. This way I'm losing money, like almost undoubtedly, because like I said, I'm only gonna get $200 or $300 if I sell these headers, and I think I'd be lucky to find someone to install them for $400 or $500, and that's low. It is an all-day, probably at least an 8-hour job. So even best case scenario, say I got somebody to $500. I mean, that's still going to cost me about $200 to do this way. So, and in the end, when I sell the car, I can still take the cat back off and sell it. So, it's all in the end probably going to work out to about the same, but I don't know what to do. So again, guys, this is kind of a rant video, not that much action. If you stuck this far, I really, really appreciate it. I know this wasn't a riveting, gripping, thrilling video, but I need help. I straight up need help. And I've been getting some decent views lately. So if you're out there, if you're watching, man, please help me. Give some feedback, give some input. Comment on my 4 paths I'm kind of juggling. If you have another one that I haven't thought of, if you have any experience with any of these things, let me know, because the car's unbearable right now. And it's to the point where I almost hate it. And I know I just made a video. I know I feel like I bag on my car, and I really like it. I love it, but it's just so much right now. I don't even like drive it that hard. I'm just concerned with trying to not disturb the entire state of Texas, basically. So again, just a quick highlight: resonators, a new catback system, or trading somebody, putting my stock exhaust system back on, or putting my old headers back on. 4 options. Guys, if you stuck till the end, I certainly appreciate it. You already know that. Hit a like on this video, subscribe if you haven't, keep a watch out for the next one, and I'll see you there.